The circle line. All right. Nah, I need air to some degree. Yeah. Um, maybe that's why. Um, kind of hungry. Oh, what time is it? I still gotta wait a little bit. I don't even really have nothing to talk about. I probably do. I feel almost like I came in here. I came in here. I started recording without. And I do that a lot. A lot of times I'll record without having something in mind, or like sometimes something will pop up to me and make me want to record. That is kind of what happened, but now I'm kind of forgot what it was. I felt like a part of me is doing something, is doing this because I need to be doing something like I just need to be doing something like creative that like actually resonates with me, you know? Um okay, a part of me, I think I've said this before. It's that weird place of on one hand you want to talk about this, but on another hand it's like it's just a weird place, and I don't know exactly how to describe it because on one hand, you know what? I don't even feel like going into that. Here's what I'll go. Um, I feel like it's the same thing that I said before. It's the only reason I'm like hesitant. It's like these weird like cycles, right? It's like this weird cycle that I don't want to say I've been trying to figure out because I've been kind of just letting go. I just started letting go of just I don't feel like trying to figure this out and trying to figure that out. Even though I was forced to do that to actually figure out how to care for myself. Um, what's the best way that I can word this? It's like a weird, yeah, it's the same thing as before. It's like this weird thing where it's like, out of everybody, I feel like we need the support. I'm gonna just start wording. We have the support. Let's just start speaking that into reality. Whatever. We have the support. Maybe it's just time to get. Part of me, bro. I honestly, I just genuinely feel like it's a support thing, right? Like I sometimes wonder how many people in their family. And what if this is just my experience when I was younger, kind of thing. Like I'm really seeing like, all right. So the best way I could word it, right, and start using stories or whatever, is like me. I have, I guess you call them boomer parents. That generation denies everything. Like they literally just is nothing you could tell them. They could be flat wrong and they won't apologize. They won't even acknowledge it. Nothing. And what I'm finding is that that has been a factor for me growing up of just there's so many experiences I had as a kid trying to relay or say to mainly my father like this is not like what you think it is, or like how can I explain? It's like how I said before, like that condition has it's like a pressure builder. right? And certain levels are going to take you over the edge. But as a child, you don't know these levels. You're just figuring it out as you go. It's like trial by error, trial by fire. But it's almost like putting your hand in. You know what I'm saying? And I so often I get older now, and I'm just like, dog, like I, I'm like, I just would want someone to sit down and you ever seen those shows where it's like the scientist, but the scientist has an as a assistant that they're not. I don't want to word it this way, but it might help. Yeah, it's the same thing. They're not on the level that the scientist is on, but they're on a level that allows them to really get what the scientist is doing and saying and understanding. Whereas everyone else does not. That's sometimes what I feel like I'll be needing. I just need someone that could get right. Like with my awareness now, what I would want, say if, because like the boomer parents, all they do is they try and step in front and lead the way. And they don't understand, like, sometimes I need you to just chill out and sit behind me. Just sit behind me and be supportive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just be quiet, stay right there, look at what I'm doing, try to understand what I'm accomplishing. Because you leading the way, not knowing what I'm actually trying to accomplish or do, you're making things like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're in the way and you can't say this to them, right? Like they get defensive immediately and emotionally. And it's almost like they're living in an illusion of like, as long as I believe that my child has been fine this whole time, then it was real, right? And that's what a lot of people do for like manifestation and stuff like that. And they basically just convinced, it's like placebo effect. They basically just convince themselves of a quote unquote illusion until it becomes real. And I will say it works. I have tried that with many things. My only thing is I would reach a point to where I now had to like embody this illusion that I was like creating. And every time I have found myself like I've reached this place where I don't know what to do. And there's no one to go to, right? It's like there's like no real support of anything. So I would end up like, I don't want to say it as like panicking or whatever, but like I didn't know what to do. Um Whatever, right? Like sometimes to me that seems like the easier thing to do. That's one of the reasons like I wanted to do this, because I feel like it's important for people that's way along, like further ahead. Like for example, me being in my mid 20s or whatever, somebody that's younger might be going through the same thing with their parents that don't listen. Bro, I so many times, like for example, when I was a kid, my father used to constantly like, because I was scared of everything, right? I wonder why I was scared of everything, right? But they don't understand, okay, that's the nervous system. The nervous system is picking up massive amounts of information until it's overloaded. Now you can't process anything, right? It's like that. But he took it as, oh, you being scary, oh, you being scary. So he always was trying to like, he would do stuff like make sure I was around, like, I don't want to word it this way, but it gives the perspective. He would try and like put me around the hood kid. If I wanted to play basketball or a sport, he would try and put me around the hood kids and do this, that, and the other, because it was toughness. That's how he grew up, and like that's cool, dog. Like I get it, but again, my father has tier one, meaning he was able. You only thing you can't do is scuba dive and jump out of plane. That's not the same as you never in your life was spending hours in pain. And it's like it couldn't get through to that brain. Like it just didn't make sense. And I only put it here because I find this fine line of people saying that I'm complaining, but then they're not actually looking at what you go through. Like sometimes I'm like, yo, I just wish God gave me the power to just for one day I could let you experience what I experienced, and you will stop sitting here saying like I'm complaining. I'm only bringing this up because it's like I'm realizing you have to push past it. Like, oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. That's wild. Once I started talking, it came back. Like, you gotta push past whatever they saying, right? It's almost like I kind of look at it sometimes as like an invisible obstacle from God to see how serious you are. Like sometimes God will do that, like creator, universe, whatever. It'll test you to see like if you actually serious. And I realized with a lot of things I wasn't serious. When it comes to this, I get very serious. I have to be. I don't have a choice. So what I look at it is like you gotta say basically fuck what you talking about. I don't care what you talking about. You don't know what you're talking about, right? Like maybe I don't even know if it's say it to them, whatever. You gotta just realize like you know what the truth is. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Because I realized in my life, like I kept allowing that push forward, like you pushing me in places that don't resonate with me. You pushing me into situations and around people and they don't resonate. I'm telling you they don't resonate, you're not listening. So it's like you have to for yourself know what affects you. My whole childhood, I used to say, yo, spinach, something about spinach makes my entire mouth hurt. Like it stings like crazy. I don't know why. And then come to find out, it probably means you're having an allergic reaction. I used to say this. I said it as a child, as a teenager. When I became an adult, nobody would listen to me, right? And I'm going to throw this out here too now. It's a lot of simple things. If you just sit down and study what's actually happening to the body, it's a lot of simple things that I didn't like it wasn't put there growing up, right? That's why I want to bring this up because it's like a psychological thing of like for what I mean by that is on one hand, I grew up in the suburbs, right? I mean, we right next to the hood for real, but we grew up in the suburbs. And what this did was create this weird like thing of like mind you, and boomer parents will try and make you seem like you're not grateful. It's the wildest thing ever. And it's this weird thing of you grow up, I had a lot of material items, right? I didn't pay for this. I didn't pay for this. I didn't pay for this, right? And so what I'm saying is it's very nuanced where on one hand, it's like, yeah, I am grateful for my material items. What is this doing for me moving forward in life, right? It's like saying, well, you have water, you should be grateful. You don't need no food. That doesn't make any sense, right? And as I say it out loud, that's clearly right. That's clearly correct if I sit here and say, no, I need water and food. It doesn't work that way. They're delusional mind. No, you just ungrateful. You wanna do that? Go get a job. And it's like, yo, like I sometimes I just get baffled because I'm like when I went and got a job and I got hurt and this, that, and the other, nobody said anything. And I no longer was in a place to be like, and the program of being ungrateful popped up like, because I didn't want to be like, see, like in your face. And I'm realizing now, like you low key gotta do that. Like you almost have to do that. Like, see, you don't know what you're talking about, bro. I could say to everyone in my family right now, explain to me what I experienced, and none of them will know. The close, my dad might be like, oh, your cells, like, you're not getting that here. Are you going deeper than that and understanding, okay, the cells is not supplying the oxygen, which means the oxygen is not getting to the muscle, which basically means your muscle doesn't have enough oxygen to function like everyone else. So if you go and get a job, try to function like everyone else, right? Because these breaks aren't enough. You wasn't taught to eat properly, this, that, and the other, right? What happens? Your muscle gets worn down very quickly because it's not functioning right, and it becomes very easy to not only go into attack, but to get hurt. They don't look at this. It's niggas in the community talking about getting their hips. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go much further than that. But what's happening to the hip? And niggas is acting like this is normal everyday life. The only niggas that we know that get like hip replacements and shit is old people. But somehow this is going over people's heads. We're talking about like, yo, this doesn't, I just don't see how this is going over people's heads. And the only thing I could look at is say like, they don't have the emotional capacity to process the entire situation. So what happens is their generation was programmed into just either ignore it or become defensive. Like they don't have that, right? Our generation is high key smarter Their generation just had more experience in the world, so they know how certain things work, but they're not consciously thinking like, wow, that is what's happening to you. How can we fix that? You know what? Maybe you should lead the way forward. We'll sit right here and you figure it out. You let us know what you need and we work on that and da 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 da. No, bro. Right? Like it's just it's just wild, bro. Like even now, and this is why like a part of me wanted to stay away from this, but like I said, like I'm breaking shit. Like I don't give a fuck no more. Bro, I used to have to beg my parents for help. I used to have like attacks and I would be in pain for hours. Actually, no, not even hours, days. And I'm like, I can't take this anymore. Please take me to the hospital. And they're like, are you sure you need to go to the hospital? I had to literally, wow, this was popping up to me a lot. Hold on, maybe this is why this kept popping up. Yo, I had to break something in the house for them to take me to the hospital, dog. I've been in pain for days and I'm begging you to take me to the hospital. You should immediately say yes. All right, let's go right now. And yeah, going to the hospital may be tiring for them, right? That might be it. It's two of y'all niggas. Why don't one nigga stay here or get rest? Or y'all take turns? Like, it's no conscious thought behind how can we make this work. It's just ignoring it. And I'm going to side note this. I'm going to keep side noting this. I'm not saying it as my parents are bad parents. I'm never saying that. I always want to make that clear. I don't think they're bad parents. I think no parent is perfect. All of our parents somewhere along the lines messed up. I always say this, and this might be the little ungrateful program that's like me trying to defend them. But I feel like if I don't do this, I'm going to go all the way to F you. And I'm not trying to be that type of person. It's nuance. It's understanding, like, I love you, but this ain't working for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here trying to do my best. I see some people saying, like, they're struggling with their peers. They're struggling mentally and physically. I'm just saying that shit is normal. Like, it's not just you. It's not just you. It's other people. I've experienced that too because they don't know what's going on. They're looking at us and they're seeing someone that, oh, you technically look fine, but they're not seeing the inside. How many people are conscious of their inside? None. They're not conscious of their, parents aren't even conscious of their emotions. They just do things. They do things, and when they get emotional, they don't talk about it, or they just take their space until they don't feel emotional anymore. There's no sitting down with the family. No, like this stuff has not, at least for me, that was my experience, right? So it's like I'm just hitting that place where like I've been waiting and I was so afraid of like I want to speak the right things into reality, but I'm also like doing that is a tool that you need to have a solid foundation for is for me what I'm saying. What I mean and specifically when it comes to that condition is that your body needs to be it's almost like I don't like using stuff like this, but it works. It's like how people talk about like law of vibration, right? Whatever energetically you are, that's what shows up in the world, right? That's what you uh attract, basically. The part of me was kind of like it just my mind went back to so if they're not helping us, wouldn't that technically be us attracting that? But see, I don't like getting too deep into that because it's also like it makes me think, okay, are you doing enough to actually help yourself? Here's what the issue with that is. That condition affects so much in life and it's such a nuanced equation that like I've I've gone into the world and tried to do my absolute best and everything I could to make my life better. And what I kept finding was that there were so many parts to the equation that like it was almost impossible for me to fulfill by myself, right? And I didn't really have the help outside of okay, we have this amount of money, so yeah, you could go get gas when you need, you could go get clothes when you need, you could go get food, I didn't know the food I needed. I didn't know the clothes I needed because the clothes are way more important than I ever realized. But yeah, I can go get the gas. So I had to spend time figuring out all these things, trial and error. Okay, this thermal work. Like for example, it'll be something as small as I went to Walmart and got thermals, and I'm like, yo, this ain't doing nothing, right? It ain't doing nothing. But the thermals at Target, oh, these are better, these are nicer, so I have to get these. They work. I have to have the right things and good things, and I had to figure so much of this out as an adult that it was ridiculous. But now I can sit here and maybe slide this to someone else. My whole childhood, I didn't eat vegetables. And I think it's because nobody sat down and said consciously, what vegetables do you need? Oh, okay, this is what I mean by going deeper into it. Okay, so because your body's not getting oxygen, it's overworking. What happens is it's drinking all the fluids in the body to try and make up for the gas it doesn't have, right? It's trying to make up for that. But the problem is you have to refill it. That's why we be dehydrated because the body is trying to zap. It's almost like when you nut, right? What they say. When you nut, it's like the body takes all of that energy and it comes out. That's why niggas fall asleep immediately after nutting because they literally just exerted a ridiculous amount of energy and not just through sex but through actually letting out. And what was the point I was okay, so the point I was making with this is right, you could drink a lot of water, but it's not really enough if we be honest. I drink water all day. It's not enough. So then I remember when I was down south, I intuitively started like eating cucumbers. I just didn't know why, but I just intuitively started eating cucumbers. And come to find out later, cucumbers has the highest amount of water in it. Like I'm pretty sure let me I know the water thing, but let me look up alkalinity wise. Alkaline cucumber. They are not inherently alkaline. Their pH is slightly acidic. However, they are a good source of hydration and nutrients. Okay, I thought I might have been going somewhere with there, but maybe not. That is interesting. And then someone else says cucumber is high in alkaline. Huh. Right. So some places say it's highly alkaline, some places say it's not. That's the only thing with age and information now is you really have to do your own. That's why Seppi was kind of fired because he was doing his own like research of it. He had his own information. So even doing that. Well, one thing I can say, cucumbers got mad water in it. So, you know what I'm saying? But the effect it was having on my body was great. Even now, like I eat cucumbers all the time. So I only bring up with this in like consciously eating food is important. Just just eating a salad is not being it's not that's not consciously eating. Is your body asking for a salad right now? Right? Like, is that what it needs? Or are you just saying, well, I know salad is good, so I'm eating salad? Like, no. You need to know what specific vitamins you're getting from this and what it is you need. Like, it's all this type of extra stuff. Wow, I see, like, I have been pretty pent up. Maybe that's why I'm doing this. Bro, my phone has been acting wild lately. How long has it been? 20 minutes? Alright, I gotta go cook soon. Um, yeah, man, it's just a lot. It's just so much, and the part I don't want to skip past is that right, so that law of vibration thing. Mind you, I don't study these things, but I have experienced like when I'm happy and I'm good and this and the other, and I go out into the world, I experience more of that. Granted, you got to be around the right people and energies, because if not, then they'll just let's just say it's not the greatest thing. Um, but it still makes me think like, why is it that we're all like experiencing that? Like, no one's like willing to help, right? Like, I just look at it as like, how does that come back to us? And the only two things I'm thinking about right now is you gotta force them to see, which I don't think you can actually do, or you gotta find a way to help yourself more. I don't know. Something about that just doesn't feel right. It's like, to me, I always looked at it as like the premature babies. Them niggas is born, right? It's the same thing. I wish I used to say this. No, I'm not gonna go there. Right? The premature babies, right? Them niggas is born, and what's the first thing they do? They put them niggas in a little chamber shit, right? Because they need help and assistance. It's the same thing. It's just y'all can't see on the outside that we need help and assistance. They sitting there for, I don't know, a month or so. I don't know the exact information, but I know they do that. It's the same thing, bro. It's literally the same thing. It's just like everyone's just carrying forward, and they're just like, why is it that you're unable to keep up? And they just stay there. Like they don't sit here and try and understand why, figure out, or truly help you in a way that's going to change that. They just it's almost like, that's what I mean. Like it almost like it makes you almost feel like a burden. And that's why I'm bringing this up, because I want to flip that. It's not that we burdens. These motherfuckers just don't know how to help us. It's not us. It's them. It's not us. It's them. They don't have the capacity. Oh, that's a story I was gonna go into, bro. I used to have to beg to like go to the hospital. I used to have to beg for food, money to get things. My parents weren't consciously like, okay, he needs this thermal, right? And they wouldn't allow me to be like, okay, well, this thermal you just bought me doesn't it's not working because it's not good because you're being cheap going to Walmart. It's not working. Right? It's one thing if niggas was broke and didn't have the money to do that. That was not the case. Ever. I'm not saying niggas was rich. I'm gonna say niggas is rich. Throw it out there, nigga. But it was like so much of this like poverty mindset nitpicking, which now that I'm older, and this is why I felt like a part of me wants to say it's important to study your parents and understand where they're coming from emotionally. If these niggas is boomers, what programs and way of living life existed then, right? You know what I'm saying? It's things like that. You got to study your parents. I didn't know growing up that my father was from like the hood or projects, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. I just, you know what I'm saying? My thing a lot of times, I just want to get my point across of what I'm saying. I didn't know he grew up in that. So now that I'm an adult and I'm looking back, I'm like, yo, this is why I always felt like I was begging for money, because you're walking around like you don't have money. My father did good for himself. He got out of that. He went and got him a good paying job, and he worked hard, and I love that, and I'm grateful for it. I'm also acknowledging that that was part of the equation you solved. Great. For whatever reason, the creator of God decided to give you a child that had these type of things going on. This equation is now like this. So you work, and that did a lot. But it's like, it's almost like they don't want you to acknowledge this side of the equation because they did this. And it's about capacity. It's just capacity. It doesn't make me ungrateful. I'm acknowledging that, okay, there's still work to here. There's still work to do. There's still something here, right? But he grew up not having money. So when he got money, it was, no. And what this caused was like, a lot of times, like, yeah, I got material items. I got an Xbox. I got this bed or this and the other. But then it's like the room I'm in is cold. Or these thermals are not doing its job because they're from Walmart because you're being cheap. Like, right? Like, you buying flash screens, right? So it's almost like an immaturity. That generation knows nothing about emotions and how emotions can control your reality if you're not aware of your own emotions. It's stuff like that. Um, so a big part of me was just like, how do I figure this out? Right? Like, what is it that I need to do to make things better? And right now, I think the best thing I do is just put my awareness, whatever I put together, into the world and just figure that out. Right? Maybe find people, talk to somebody, something. Cause it's just a really, really big equation, bro. Like it is. It is. You need the right food. You need the right clothes. You need to be in a place that's warm. You need to be in a house that is modern, breathable. The things are working. There's so much to the equation that it's ridiculous. It really is. But the environment affects you so much, and I think that's what people don't get. They don't realize how much the environment is affecting us from the degree. What's the quality of water? What's the quality of living? Is it warm? Is it air in here, right? Because that's another thing. We need extra oxygen and air because the body is not getting as much as it needs. Like it's a very ridiculous thing, but it's a lot of things you can do to feel or to change. I don't know what the word for that is. There's a lot of things you could do to make that better, right? It's a lot of different things you do. The bottom of it, the whatchamacall is money though. I will say, it is money. I will say that it is money. But it's one thing to like not have the money, and I get that. But it's another thing to like you have the money and you're just making things more difficult than it needs to be, and it's annoying. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, bro. Um, right. So going back to like law of vibration, it's almost like it just I kind of don't even want to go back to law of vibration. I gotta sneeze. It's not coming out. It just I get from how do I want to word that? I'm just looking at the correlation between that law and having a condition like that. That's the best way I can word it right now. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna stop this soon because I am so hungry right now that it is ridiculous. Um, or what I could do is you smell me, right? And while this is covered, I could just keep talking and cook. Oh, my legs. Oh, oh God. Keep talking. Oh, keep talking. And um, oh, my leg fell asleep. Oh my goodness. Yeah, keep talking. Cook. So yeah, man. I get why the government is ignoring it because one is dominantly black people that get affected by it, and it goes against the entire hospital thing, literally. But in reality, yes, I still feel like anybody with that condition needs assistance funds. I am not making chicken. I did not feel like making chicken. Yeah, I know exactly what I want. I know exactly what I want. What is this? It's not even necessarily what I want. It's the only thing that I don't feel like making. Right? Like, even that. Like, I have that experience that, like, I really need home cooked meal. Like, I've reached a point of eating, let's say, you know, a lot better for so long that, like, I can't really eat outside food no more. Like, I tried it yesterday and my stomach was hurting all day and I did nothing. And it's like cooking requires effort and energy. And there were times where it was like I would reach this place where I'm I don't care. I would reach this place where the energy required to cook made me not want to eat afterwards. It literally would make me not want to eat afterwards. Because I was overwhelmed and exhausted from having to exert that much amount of energy just to cook food, just to get the food I needed. I think that's the part of the equation that like people don't really know or listen to. And I mean outsiders, as in normal people. It's almost like I know I'm just so. A part of me wants to word this because I get it, and then it just good. The reason why I'm hesitant on it is because it literally goes against the things that you learn studying quote unquote spirituality. You're supposed to say everything positive and everything into your reality and da 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 da. But if a motherfucker break their arm, what they gonna sit there and do? Just keep speaking that into reality? Oh, my arm's fine. No, they dumbass gonna take themselves to the hospital. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's acknowledging the issue and speaking on it. Like, it's just weird. It's a weird thing to do. It's a weird experience. So it's almost like, say you have a car, and most people, you know, you drive around, you lose a gallon. For us, or a bar of gas in the car. For us, it's almost like we all went the same distance and speed, but we lost like 5 bars, and they lost like 1. So what happens with this, from what I've looked at and studied, is that your body and nervous system are getting overwhelmed, and your body can go into a state, because we've all basically been living in survival mode. Living in survival mode is just living by getting whatever means you can. Meaning, damn, that nigga, they don't really got the money to do this, that, and the other, but this McDonald's gonna keep a nigga alive for now. McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? Nobody should be eating that shit. But it's like, oh, I didn't want to lose that point. But that is what it's like. It's like having a car that, like, it needs more fuel than everyone else. So it's very, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. You're going to survival mode because your nervous system's overwhelmed. I don't know if other people experience this, but I grew up not having an appetite and being overly skinny. And I realize now it's simply because my body was overwhelmed. My nervous system was overwhelmed. I also experienced my nervous system being overwhelmed by people, being around people, talking to people, because I didn't have the energy, the fuel, the gas, whatever, to properly function and process everything going on around me. And everything around me was affecting me so much, I didn't even have the energy to just let go and not care about it. Because when I did that, I wasn't focused on what I needed to be doing, whether it was my studies or school. So I felt like I had to be on top of everything to keep up. How can you be on top of everything and let go at the same time if you don't have the fuel, right? So being in that survival mode will make your body go into a state of your appetite will disappear, which is not good because you need more fuel than everyone else. So it's a long line of ridiculousness, and it's an equation that I've studied for this last few years. What I can say is, when I went to an environment, aka down south, that was warm, they have a lot of new houses, they have a lot of places you could find natural, organic foods that just got picked out the ground. They got a bunch of farmers markets and stuff. They got a bunch of trees everywhere. Like, the oxygen level to me was just amazing. Not just that too, but dry environments very much affect that. Down south was very, very humid. They had a lot of oxygen. It was humid. So what I found in that was it allowed me to grow. It allowed me to grow a lot and focus more on eating and taking care of myself and doing this, that, and the other. The only thing I will say is I'm like very like OCD. It's like OCD and I'm sensitive, right? So what happens is, for me to focus, because the equation is so big, for me to focus and do what I need to do, I very oftenly needed to be in my own space, right? And because I was with my parents, I couldn't focus on what I needed to focus on because a lot of times they were in the way. Like a lot of times they're in the way. I'm like, I need a side of the fridge that's just me, and they're just putting their stuff everywhere, and it was too chaotic for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person, I'm sensitive. Don't speak to me first thing in the morning. They can't follow that rule. And it's just like I'm doing the absolute most to take care of myself, and it's like the people around you don't want to listen to what you're experiencing, and then they don't want to just make things a lot simpler for you. Like, it's so weird. And it feels to me like being around a bunch of people that are subconsciously, because I don't want to word it as trying to stop you from growing or changing, but subconsciously I'm like, they're in the way. Like, that's the only way I can word it. It's like, I'm telling you, I need this to focus and do that and this, that, and the other, and you're just doing whatever. I'm telling you, I'm not in school because I literally am struggling, focusing, and getting around campus and doing this, that, and the other. And I'm telling you, I need to focus on my physical wealth. My physical wealth. And you're just like, oh, you're making excuses and da 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 da. And this is coming from people who aren't taking care of themselves. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. It almost feels, and I'm gonna be honest, right? Because I noticed my thing is I haven't been speaking my truth, and I was sent this Bruce Lee video that was like, you know what? Express yourself honestly to the max, bro. It feels like abuse. It does. I'm not necessarily saying that it is. I'm saying what it feels like. How many niggas go to the hospital and the nurses and doctors don't know what they're doing? They're gaslighting you. That's abuse. Right? It literally feels abusive because it's like, they're not seeing you. They're not acknowledging. They're not even trying to see you. That's the part to me that's abusive. It's one thing if somebody trying to see you and the motherfucker just stupid and they don't get it, right? That's one thing. I honor the fact that you tried, my nigga. I ain't even gonna hold you on it. But the fact that motherfuckers is not listening and then they don't want to try, that's the part that gets me. You're not even being helpful, nigga. You just sitting here and just it's almost like it's easy for them to just sit there and do that because they not the person experiencing that shit. I'm like, you feel like you got a little cold and flu and your ass is crying and all this other shit. Nigga, you ain't never sat in pain for days, weeks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just is baffling, bro. It's genuinely baffling. And it feels like abuse. It just feel like parents that be like, yo, that's the honest truth. And I realize that's what it is. I've been holding myself back. It feel like parents be like, I brought you into this world, you're so ungrateful. Bitch, you brought me into this world, nigga. Do your responsibilities. What the fuck are you talking about? That don't even make no sense. You know what I'm saying? You over here talking about ungrateful, but you brought me into the world, and I'm seeing you don't really know what the fuck you doing. I ain't even holding against you. I'm just bringing it up like, okay, something got to change. But your emotional thing that's not letting you see that is making you feel like I'm calling you a bad parent. Nigga, like, I can't even say that to my parents because they get emotional and defensive. And I'll sit there and say, like, I'm not even getting on you, like, saying you the worst person. I'm not saying none of that. When I was a kid, they didn't have internet like this, and they didn't really know shit about the condition. They still don't know shit about the condition. What could I have expected you to know? Nigga, you was a teacher. The fuck? like I did, and you ain't teach normal shit. You was teaching math, nigga. So it's like, I'm not calling you a bad parent, but it's like you don't have the capacity to realize that, like, yeah, you've done great, but because God, the creator, whatever, gave me this condition or whatever, there's other shit that I need that needs more attention. And it's like, it's almost like frustrating because it's like, where the fuck am I supposed to go? Where am I supposed to do? I'm telling you, I get close to, like, I'm about to just go on the internet and act an ass, right? Like, sometimes I'm about to just do this streaming shit that the young niggas is doing. Fuck it, right? Because if I do that and blow up, at least I'll have the money and I'll know what I need. I know what I'll need to go do. I know where I need to go. But it's almost like that's what it feel like. It feel like these people's lack of capacity to listen, learn, try and apply something different, or even just the capacity to be like, I'm gonna step back and follow you, so this way I could watch from here and see what's going on. That it's almost keeping us trapped type shit. That to me is what it feel like. That's honestly what it feel like. And it's like, I realize as I'm talking out loud, I don't be getting to express how it is I feel or what I feel is going on. So when you got everybody around you, your family just gaslighting your shit and not letting you express yourself, you become suppressed and angry and all this other shit. That shit is not good for your body, bro. It's not good for your mind. It's not good for none of this shit. Oh, okay. I thought my laptop was dead. What the hell going on? Right? So it's not me necessarily trying to sound like I'm complaining. And is complaining even a bad word? Right? Like it's like the word consequence. Consequence not even a bad word, bro. It just means the result of whatever the fuck you was doing or saying. I'm about to look up the exact. Yo! Express dissatisfaction or annoyance about something. It's a neutral fucking word. But it has a negative light around it. State that one is suffering from pain. That's literally what complain means. Express that's exactly what I'm fucking doing. Nigga, I'm fucking complaining because some shit is out of order. The fuck? Do bitches not complain when you try and put it in and it's dry and it fucking hurts them? The fuck? That was a wild ass example. That shit just came out, but that came out from my younger days of when I first was learning like sex and shit. That shit came real left field. But it still applies. It applies. Nigga, they gonna complain because you hurting them. The fuck? It's very simple. So, it just be things where like I get upset sometimes because it's like I just feel like it's not even like an attempt. You know what I'm saying? It's just a shut your shit down. I'm not even gonna attempt to like understand or help you or do this and the other. They'll just go to the doctor. I'm like, yo, these niggas don't know what they talking about, bro. And I'll be like, okay, what am I benefiting from going to the doctor? Please tell me. Please tell me. Please. I've gone several times. All they do is check your blood and the shit stays in the same range for me. And I'm just like, you're not seeing there's no purpose in me doing this shit. It's not doing anything. I go to the doctors start to gaslight you. Now my mom's having a conversation with the doctor more about herself and other shit than it is about me in this condition. I'm just like, yo, I'm over it. And I'm realizing now, like, it's like I can't even really call them niggas out for real. Because all they're gonna do is deny it. That's the point I wanted to make. Yo, it was a few years ago, right? And this is where I started to see certain aspects of my life change. I brought up the example of like when my dad grew up in like poverty mindset, and they just grew up financially thinking differently, and it was like, oh no, don't. Oh, I was asking for something that was a lot. I admit to that. I know when I'm asking for something that was a lot, and it was like, no, that's too much money, and this, that, and the other, and it was something that was like expensive, and then in the middle of this conversation, right, we had left this part of it, but it was other stuff we was talking about. My mom goes on to talk about how she just got a new car. What the fuck are we talking about, dog? Like, what are we talking about? Wait. You didn't have the money for this, but you just got a new fucking car? Right? So it's shit like this that I'm just like, I look at it bluntly of how the fuck was a new car more important than what I'm bringing up to you right now when I'm talking about my physical well-being. Like, I just don't get that shit. I genuinely don't get that shit. They'll fucking be in the way and they won't help other than this money. Oh, that's what I was going to say. That's what I brought up. I used to have to beg for shit. And every time I wanted some shit, it was beg. Yo, imagine you being a grown man. You got a fucking condition that's limiting you in life. And you like, going back to what I said before, being the supercell niggas, retarded as fuck in the barber chair, crying and shit, is because their nervous system can't process what the fuck is going on. Meaning when your nervous system can process shit,
You could hear properly, you could smell properly, you could feel properly, and when you can feel properly, you can stay grounded. You could know, oh, there's no real danger here. But because your nervous system's like, yo, what the fuck? That's what happens. That's the response. What was I even going? Oh, yo, I wanted to cut my hair, right? Because I don't like the barbers. Them niggas don't listen. Bitch, if I want half a mustache, nigga, give me half a mustache, nigga. I want 1/5 of an eyebrow, bitch. Don't do nothing else. Just do that. Nothing else. They don't fucking listen. And they start doing shit. So I wanted to get clippers to get my own hair. To cut my own hair. Mom start complaining. Oh, do you really need that? And da-da-da-da. And yo, as an adult, as a grown man, and you not looking at the fact I'm struggling because niggas don't have answers for me. Why the fuck you complaining about me going to get clippers, dog? Because I don't have my own money. But when I go to get a job and I get sick, it's quiet as fuck. You don't want to take no responsibility and like, oh, I could have just helped you. But you got money for a new fucking car. The more I hear this shit out loud, the more I see, all right, you not really being financially responsible to the degree that you need to be. I ain't saying you was bad and niggas was broke and shit, but I'm saying like, yo, my nigga, like, something not right here, right? Like that's what I'm saying. It's shit like that would piss me off, bro. Like, nigga, why the fuck are you trying to do shit and they start fucking complaining? I don't want to hear. What the fuck are you complaining for, nigga? And then when you don't answer the phone no more, when you leave and you start answering, oh, why you not answering calls? No, I'm not fucking calling you, nigga. What are you talking about? Yeah, I feel like I've been pent up and now it's coming out. And this is what I mean. You have this like fence because a part of me is like, I don't want to put no pent up energy in the world. What the fuck am I gonna do? Just keep sitting here acting like it don't affect me, it ain't doing nothing, right? So the point I tried to make is like, I used to have to do this with groceries, with clothing, with stuff. I was asking for it, and it was just like niggas was like making me beg for it. So one day I just took their fucking card. I was like, fuck this. I took their fucking card and I put it on my phone on Apple Pay. And now I'm sitting here, mind you, this was years ago. Mind you, I started doing everything I need. I went to go get gas when I fucking needed it. I went to go get food when I fucking needed it. I started like studying like the right foods to eat, and I would go get it. I'd stop asking. I would go get it. Lo and behold, I ain't getting nobody like, you gotta absolutely stop doing this and da 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 da. That shit never happened. So the whole time in reality, you could have been fucking helping me and you wasn't. That's the shit that pissed me off because that was the reality. I had to go take the fucking card, nigga. If you go say that to someone else, they would say, oh, you was stealing. Nigga, what the fuck? Like, it's like stupid shit like this, bro. And it's like setups in like the government and shit where it's like, say you like me, you got suburban parents and shit, right? These motherfuckers, at least however my parents did it, they can't even touch a lot of the money that they fucking earn until they reach a certain age. Nigga, that money's needed now. What the fuck are we doing? Like, it be shit like this that just blow me. Because, like, I think about, damn, the time that before I took this car, I could have been helping myself. Doing this, that, and the other. Getting the right water. Getting this, that, and the other. This shit blow me, bro. I've seen that, like, my cousin used to talk about this a few years ago. She was like, why the fuck did our parents work all this hard to not help us? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Nigga, you might as well have just stayed broke. The fuck? Cause and my thing is, I can understand if you're trying to make your child strong so that they can be in the world without you. But it's another thing if your child has a fucking condition. Because now I grew up trying to be a good, righteous kid. And what I realized, a big part of that is just trying to keep my family happy by making them feel like they did a good job at parenting. That's what a lot of that shit is. And I'm at the point, man, fuck that shit. Nigga, 2025, fuck all of that shit. I don't care how you view me, how you nothing. Nigga, help me or don't say nothing to me. That's how the fuck I feel. Like, I'm like, yes, nigga. Like, look at that. It is complaining. It is complaining. My thing is, what am I to do? I'm telling you, nigga, I'm about to go get a fucking PlayStation. I stopped playing PlayStation because When you understand what playing video games does to your subconscious and your nervous system, once I became like super sensitive to that, I couldn't even do that shit no more. That shit was fucking me up, and I was like, oh my god. So, right, like that's my sensitivities. As a child, playing video games helped me escape from this bullshit. That don't resonate no more. I can't do that no more because I'm sensitive to the point where I feel what video games are doing to my body and my awareness. And it's like, damn, nigga, what fucking options do I have? How do I escape this shit now? Right? I done tried swimming at it and then tried swimming away from it. I'm in here cooking my own food. I can't even go eat food out no more. So it's like, I'm doing something, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Throw this out to the universe. The universe knows the core of this is me trying to find answers and love myself and be in the world, make family, friends, love, all that. It knows that. It knows that. So I'm going to put this the fuck out there and that'll be that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what else to do, but I'm seeing like I've been pent up because I'm getting older and I'm seeing the reality of what I was truly living in. A lot of the reality I thought was just this condition, and really it's my parents' lack of fucking awareness. And it's like not even on some I hate you shit. That's why it's kind of angry. It's being upset, and that's okay. You could be upset. The fuck, I could be upset that I had to come into the world with this bullshit, and the doctors couldn't fucking help me, nigga. Why the fuck why I gotta act like everything's all fine? That don't make no sense. That shit not changing. And I had to damn near steal the damn card just to be able to pay for myself and pay for my shit. And I realized your parents do this program of, oh, you're not grateful. Bitch, I was sitting on couches for hours in pain. What the fuck are you talking about? That shit make you want to be like, oh, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're saying, bro. You know? And it's like, I don't want to attack them because it's like attacking, and no disrespect, but it's like attacking a child that doesn't know any better. That's what it feels like. You're attacking a child that doesn't know any better. A lot of our parents are just fucking old children. Old niggas mentally still in high school. Sister tight jeans, they ain't never like you. Pink hair, right? So it's just me putting my thoughts somewhere, right? Because I sat here and I tried to figure out the equation of this shit to the max. And I reached a point where I figured out, okay, the water, I started figuring out the food, going for walks in a warm environment, godly. It does something to the body where it gets like all the blood moving. It just, I don't know how to explain it. It's probably some simple shit, but for this, I'm saying specifically for that condition, it's godly. Learn to just walk, right? But if you in some cold shit, I don't suggest it. But if you somewhere that's warm, and I mean warm, where you could take your fucking clothes off and stand in the sun, do that shit. Walk as much as you possibly can. I figured that shit out. Working out, to me, was a giant waste of time. Because if you don't work out properly, you're going to end up starting over. And anyone that has a condition knows you don't want to be starting shit over. It's annoying as fuck, and it takes too long. But walking, eating right, and understanding you cannot go back to the bullshit. Like, you can't. It'll be no, right? So walking, eating right, being around the right people, being in a warm environment. I was living down south in a modern house, warm environment. The only part of the equation that was not resonating was living with my parents because they were annoying as fuck. They were annoying as hell, bro. The amount of things I had to go through, I can't even explain to you, right? And that's another thing. The amount of quote-unquote stress or things that come with that condition, you're not supposed to be around any one situation, energy that tacks on more of that. It's actually dangerous for us. And I'm like, people don't get this because no one's studying the damn condition. So I'm sitting here trying to make fucking life easier, and niggas is just, oh no. What the fuck? Nigga, like, when I was a kid, my dad told me, oh, depression not real. You ain't never sat in pain like this for hours, days, and weeks. What are you talking about? And I'm not even, like, pro that shit, because I think it is dumb. It's not dumb. It's the same capacity thing. If people don't understand there's so many other factors that are affecting that. And one example is feng shui. The way your house is designed and the way the furniture sits and how much light is coming in through the door, the windows can actually affect you in that manner of being depressed. It can actually create that, and a lot of people don't know that. So it's like, I didn't put all this shit together, and the last thing was, okay, the last part of being around my parents, and I was like, I couldn't find a way to get away from them and provide for myself. The only thing I see is I'm gonna get on the internet and I'm gonna act an ass, right? Because that's how I look at it. I'm like, yo, I tried to look at it, I spun it in this way. The creator gave me this for a reason, right? The creator gave me this for a reason. I'm gonna figure out what purpose lies with me having this condition. I'm gonna try and create positivity and awareness and whatever, right? So if I truly have that condition, the same way Jonah was like, nigga, I'm out of here, ran from God, and God redirected him. That's what I expect if I go out here and start acting an ass to try and live by myself and do what I need to do in an environment that suits me. That's really all it is, nigga. I seen that on Twitter once. It was like, yo, your parents' house has all this shit you need except peace of mind. Because them motherfuckers don't shut the fuck up and get out the fucking way. That's really what it is. And you can't say this to them because all it does is trigger them. And that's another thing I noted for me. I don't know if it's the condition or my other sensitivity of other shit. It's like, I don't like being around other people that's triggered because I'm so sensitive. I end up picking up a lot of that shit and being pulled by a lot of it. I don't want to deal with that. And they don't get that. They don't listen to nothing. Like, nigga, just help a nigga. Like, damn. Where my, right? Like, it be blowing me. It really do be blowing me because it be like, they generation of just judge shit before even really hearing you out. My family was looking at me crazy because I bought a dishwasher. Like, I bought a portable dishwasher, right? Like, because I know how to spend in a good way. For example, the portable dishwasher I bought because the house that I'm in right now is old as fuck. And guess what? The sink doesn't work properly, which means the water doesn't come out at the proper velocity or whatever, right? Meaning you'd be sitting here all day washing dishes. If you have the condition, you're not supposed to exert unnecessary energy because it takes too long to put the energy back. Niggas was looking at me crazy because I bought a dishwasher. I can literally put these dishes in the dishwasher and save my energy and go do other things that I need to do. And it's like, it's stupid shit. Not even just that, right? Because the dishwasher $300, right? You think I took $300 out immediately and bought it? Or do you think a nigga was like, how can I not use $300 right now? Oh, look at that. Amazon monthly payments. No added interest. $50 for 6 months? Okay. Niggas didn't even complain about nothing. Because I'm using this shit wisely, nigga. And I'm not buying stupid shit. I'm not out here trying to buy Jordans and all these video games, which, granted, I think every nigga that got the condition should get a government card that allow you to get video games for free. I'm clearly gassing it, but you know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm not spending on stupid shit. I'm out here trying to buy shit that it's like I'm not out here using all of my everything just to live normally like everyone else. What was the last thing? No. This. Yeah, this is it. Right, so I'm about to eat this food. I'm about to relax for real. Cause it got me hot, but I feel like it's a valid reason. I genuinely feel like it's a valid reason, bro. I'd be like, if God, creator, really got this purpose for me, I can't keep sitting here. I'ma jump out here and hopefully you redirect me to whatever direction I need to go in. But at least acknowledge that I'm trying, bro. Like, I'm literally trying. That's the part that be blowing me. Like I'm trying. I don't get. Like I just don't get this, bro. It's funny. I think that's like, it's just that generation. Cause my cousin don't have this condition. But I remember her saying that. She was like, "Yo, why the fuck did these niggas work for all this shit if they not gonna help us?" That's. And I seen somebody else on Twitter. Nah, I'm not gonna go that way. But they basically was like, it just pointed out like it's their programming. They really don't know how to like. I don't want to. How can I word this? It's almost similar to like, you see the Chinese stores, the Chinese restaurant. You see a lot of these like Muslim, Arabic. I think Arabic's a language. I don't know how that shit works. Don't flame me. But it's like you see these niggas working together. Nigga, you see taxis, it's the fucking Muslim niggas. I don't know what they, or the Indian niggas, whatever. Right? You see fucking Arabics and all that. The Chinese store, I ain't never seen no nigga, white person, nothing, working in the Chinese store. Because they working together, to build together. Why the fuck did y'all complain about all this fucking, I don't want to word it this way, but all this civil rights shit, and all the shit y'all had to work mad hard for, just to make us, just to turn around and make us do the same thing? That doesn't make any sense. Nigga, we're supposed to move forward. Why the fuck is it requiring me to focus? Right, I just look at it like this, nigga. If I didn't have to put all this energy into figuring out and doing all this shit by myself, what the fuck could I be putting my energy into? Maybe I would go to college and because I was very smart. I'm still very smart. But it's like, academically, it was like the shit I'm trying to say. Maybe I have the energy to focus on that. Maybe I have the energy to focus on whatever my purpose is in life. But sitting here with this shit, that's what I'm saying. I'm a merge it. This is how I'm a merge it. I'm a fucking talk about this shit and then sometimes talk about a little bit of spirituality. Maybe not. I don't know. But like I said, man, I'm just hot. I'm not hot. Let me not say that. It's frustrating, bro. It's frustrating. It is complaining. But it's complaining in the sense of you're saying that you're not satisfied, right? And I don't want to be satisfied. I don't want to be doing that from a place of like, oh, you're ungrateful or this, that, and the other. I'm just saying there are parts of the equation that need to be fixed or changed, and I'm needing help with it, right? That's the psychological like piece of shit that I'm like getting stuck between. It's like I grew up in the suburbs. Niggas had money for shit. The house was also old as fuck. It was cold as hell here, and I couldn't open the windows to breathe. I needed a bunch of oxygen. Niggas wouldn't turn the heat up to the degree that I needed it to be warm and safe, right? So it's on one hand, you want to be grateful because you have things a lot of other kids don't have. I have a fucking car I don't pay for, right? But then on the other hand, it's like, damn, nigga, like, I'm sitting here trying to study this damn equation by myself. I'm doing it by myself, figuring this out. It's not even being acknowledged for real by other people. The fuck? So, I don't know, man. I don't know. So, yeah. Hey. I had to bring something into this, something a little fun, a little something. Right, it's a bathroom. Alright. I'm just like, one part of you is upset, but I feel like I'm speaking facts. It's like my life has consisted of me just sitting here trying to figure out how to eat healthy, while other niggas is either going to college or having jobs, or they don't have to focus on all this extracurricular bullshit in the sense of you not focusing. How can I word it? Because, right, some people are born in different conditions. Some people don't have the money like that. But they also are not, they don't have to worry about having to go to the hospital at any time and you're losing the results of a lot of shit you've worked for. Having to start over and nobody's truly helping you, or supporting you in the way that you need. The support one way is I took that fucking card and now I could go buy a lot of shit that I need. It doesn't mean I'm in the environment I need to be in. It doesn't mean that I have a helping hand with these fucking dishes and fucking cooking and washing my clothes and washing the bathroom and showering, because all this shit requires energy that motherfuckers with that condition genuinely don't be having. this that's just the type of shit that I need, bro. So I don't know. I just too often, like, there's a part of my mind that tries to be like, nigga, you just lazy, right? Because that's what I used to get told that as a lot as a kid, that I was lazy. In reality, I just didn't like doing shit that made me insanely tired for it to not be fucking worth it. I'm not gonna vacuum this entire fucking house the moment I get home from school. I'm not gonna do that. That doesn't fucking make any sense. I'm clearly fucking exhausted. You ain't cooking healthy food, nigga. Why the fuck would I do this? You're not, like, it was almost like having a condition and then everyone acting like you didn't have a condition, bro. Like, this shit was insane. And I feel like it still is. It's still trying to convince people that you're having this, that, and the other. Nigga. And I think what that is it's like the Tyler, the Creator shit. Like, his mom was off the porch for him, and that's why that motherfucker's still weird. But he's weird in his own way, and it's cool how that's accepted now. And that nigga making millions off of being weird. The fuck? That nigga's making millions off of being weird. I didn't have that, so I grew up feeling ashamed of my shit. In reality, you just need to embrace this shit and make something out of it. That's how the fuck I'm feeling as I cook these eggs. That's why I say, like, if you got that shit, you young, whatever, nigga, pull that fucking card all the time. You're supposed to, nigga. Ain't nobody out here asking niggas in wheelchairs to walk. The fuck? Nigga, pull that shit. Them niggas get the park close to the door all the time. Them niggas get accessibilities of shit. And other niggas don't have accessibilities of. Nigga, pull that fucking card to the max. The fuck? That's what it feel like. We need to start pressing these niggas, stepping on their necks, something. Because what I learned in life is so many times as a kid, I was right about, did I put some salt on this? Oh. That I was right about shit, and now an adult, and all the adults around me would just, no, that's not gaslighting. And now I realize it's almost like, it's like when Kanye was like, I don't take advice from people less successful than me. It's almost like that. Just meaning like, nigga, if I got 50 million, why the fuck I'ma listen to you and you don't got 50 million? Granted, however, I still feel like you can listen and learn from everyone. Nigga, you listen and learn from babies. The fuck? So, but I get what he's saying. You ain't experienced this shit. So odds are you don't know what you're talking about. And as I've gotten older, those odds continue to prove me right. This nigga does not know what he's talking about. I'm over here, I'm like in my hometown, and I'm like, yo, it's dry as fuck here. It's fucking cold as hell. No wonder I was in pain all the time. No wonder I was scared of everything. My nervous system was literally begging for help, crying for help. And no one was listening. So what did I go do? I went and took my ass in the basement, away from everybody, and just played video games. The fuck? I literally self-soothe. I cope. I don't want to, I'm not living on that type of shit no more, nigga. You feel me? The fuck? I'm not coping nothing, nigga. Like, where would I be if I didn't take that fucking card? So That to me is like how I'm feeling. I'm going into the world and I'm just being honest with myself and how I feel and the things that I have experienced. Motherfuckers is just gaslighting us. We gotta be like these fucking LGBT niggas, nigga. Bitch, I'm a jaguar. You gonna refer to me as a motherfucking jaguar, nigga? The fuck? That's high key how we need to be. Because if not, niggas is not gonna do nothing. It's real shit. I feel like we need to start pressing these niggas. Bitch, I'm a jaguar, and there's nothing you could tell me about it. And now look how much rights these niggas is getting. You see these niggas in movies all the time. Movies, you see that shit everywhere. And I don't give a fuck whether it's right or wrong. It don't got nothing to do with me. The point I'm trying to make is that them niggas pressed niggas into saying they jaguars. And it worked. Ooh. Yeah, I'm ready to eat. Mug. How far is this? Man, that's gonna be a long video. You know what? I just reached a point where, like, if you're not even trying to, like, get what I'm saying, I'm not listening to you. Like, that to me is how I feel. I'm not fucking listening to you if you're not even trying to understand what I'm saying. Because someone that genuinely is looking to help you and care and know is going to try and understand what you're saying. And if they're saying what you're saying is wrong, they'll break the shit down in factual statements that prove what you're saying is wrong. And that's fine. But anyone who doesn't want to do that is not actually concerned with helping you. They don't want to give a fuck. Because if you did, you would sit here and science this shit with me and show me why I'm wrong. Or show me a better way. They don't want to do that. They just don't want to have to hear about what the fuck you going through. And you sitting there experiencing by yourself. Bitch, I'm about to become the Joker, nigga. What the fuck are you talking about? Bitch, I'm a jaguar. There's nothing you could tell me about it, nigga. I'm about to go change my fucking license to Jaguar. I'm gonna put Jag Peace. Because I like peaceful stuff. I'm a peaceer. You feel me? I made that up. Peaceer. I'm a warrior and a peaceer, but you feel me? We need some more peace in this bitch. Yeah, it's really how I feel. That's why I've been feeling so whatchamacall lately. I'm like, I started really taking care of myself. Why do I feel like this? Because I ain't been expressing my truth. But look at that. Because I wasn't expressing my truth, look how I felt. I'm doing everything I need to do. I just bring that up as like the whole feng shui affecting your whatever, you know? Fuck this, nigga. The fuck? I'm telling you, we need to start pressing that shit. Press that whole fucking medical community, nigga. And not in the sense of like, give me drugs. No. I'm gonna put this in this video. I do not agree with a lot of the drug shit. Just because I know I know what those drugs are actually doing to us. They're not taking pain away. They're fucking up your nervous system to a degree that you can't feel the pain. But I also have experienced how much pain we actually experience. So I'm like, damn. These drugs are low-key necessary if you don't have no other fucking option. My thing is, niggas need funding. We need to find funding. And if funding might not necessarily mean they giving us a giant bag. It could just mean we get funding for housing in places that are really warm and good for our body. We could get funding for fucking research. We could get funding for natural, holistic ways of doing shit. Right? Make some fucking fund or grant or something that, wow, you get to live in this environment and study your own condition, nigga. The fuck? And I would study holistically. I'm not rocking with all that today's science shit. I'm just not. Because I know what that shit is doing, nigga. They was giving me Percocet as a fucking kid. And I was like, what the? That shit was worse than the pain. I was like, nah. Ugh, I gotta pee. I'm eating this cucumber. Whole cucumber. They'd be like, my mom grew up, and it's not me flaming her. It's not me flaming her in the like negative way. It's just my nigga. This is what was going on. This is what the fuck was going on, and this is why it was bothering me. You put salt, crazy levels of salt, right? Because I just use salt, but I'm not using crazy levels of salt. Salt, butter, all this other shit that I can't be eating. Asking me why I'm not eating the food, nigga. That's why. I didn't know it as a kid, but that's why. Nigga, that shit used to make my teeth hurt, chest hurt. I stopped eating that shit. Guess whose teeth and chest stopped hurting? Oh, he won't eat. My sensitivities were so high, it was ridiculous. But I couldn't process exactly where it was coming from. Oh yeah, I can still use this. You know? So my thing is like, I'm really just trying to find something. Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm trying to find something. I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat. I might relax today. I might do absolutely fucking nothing. Oh man, I had enough of this damn nonsense. Because I feel like this nigga's talking about getting a hip replaced. Nigga, what are we talking about? Why are we not having a discussion of niggas like us need funding? The fuck? That's not even the main like root of the condition. It's a fucking side effect. Can you imagine? It's a side effect, nigga. What the? How is that not ridiculous? I feel like I'm starting to see somewhat of a purpose in this. I don't want to say somewhat of a purpose, somewhat of a picture that has a lot of these different aspects of this in mind. Oh, yeah, man. That's a fucking side effect. I say that in the sense of like, how big is the actual thing if that's a side effect? I don't think people are putting the condition into the proper perspective, into the proper capacity. It's something that requires a lot of capacity. You know why most niggas ain't fucking rocket scientists? Because most niggas don't have the capacity to be a fucking rocket scientist. Nigga, there's so... You ever seen Interstellar? You see how much math go into that shit? Interstellar was Poppington, by the way. But you see how much math go into that shit? Most niggas don't have the capacity to comprehend rocket science. That's what the fuck we're experiencing. Literally. And because of that, it's one thing for them niggas to be like, we don't have the technology to help you, which is bullshit. I'm not going to go into a long thing of that because a lot of nature has these answers. But it's one thing to say that. It's another thing to not be helping niggas. Like, the fuck? I just don't get that. How are you not helping niggas? There should be programs, funding, all type of shit for all of us. I can't believe going into the community and niggas are saying, the niggas talking about getting hip replaced. Nigga, nah. And that's the thing, like, we gotta break through that shit. My dad always said to me, every time I was complaining, brought it up, it's minor. Bitch, how? Do you see the pain I'm experiencing right now? You're talking about it's minor? The fuck? I also think that's why the information around the condition is confusing, so we can't properly process it and then ask or really demand the things that we need. It's only called minor because there's a major and minor version of it. I don't think minor is the right word that they should have put. While it is not as severe, that's like saying it's basically like saying breaking your arm is less severe than breaking your leg. Because the leg is bigger and stronger, and you could walk around with a broken arm. That's almost what it's like. To put it into some type of perspective, that's almost what it's like. That shit is still severe as fuck. So a part of me is just like, I've just hit my, like, I don't care.
Oh my god. I be happy when I cook my own food. When I eat outside food, I just be like, oh man. Running Neptunes. Oh yeah, this is good. Alright, I think that might be it for now. Just because I want to eat. I do want to talk more. And I have been pent up, but I need to eat ASAP. Gotta fight for your rights. What it is a mix of ignorance and negligence. The negligence is because of the ignorance. That's basically what it is. Oh my nose. Is the pollen high? Pollen gotta be high. My nose is like killing me right now. My God. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. No, it says no pollen. What the fuck is bothering me then? Like, my nose feels ridiculous. And it only started like this recently. Bruh. See, this is what I'm talking about. That website said the pollen is low. This website says the pollen is very high. I knew I ain't tripping, but that's what I mean. They try and gaslight you. Clearly, my motherfucking nose is itching to the max, and that only started when spring started. It literally played right out. Because I know my nose is fucking itching. There's nothing that could have caused this but pollen. You questioning yourself because of something the website said, man. It's some bullshit. Alright. I fucking. I just realized the fan in that room was off. So again, I want to say like, it's not about me, like trashing my parents. I have had a lot of beautiful experience. My parents, we went on vacation a lot of places. Parents love me to the best of their degree with what their capacity is at.
That's cool. That don't mean that I have to sit here ignoring these other things that are out of place because you love me to the best that you could. I'm grateful for that. However, I have to still move forward in life and prepare myself for life without you. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of my time going towards trying to figure out something I was born with that we should have sat down and figured this out as kids, but it's not their fault. They didn't have the information. It just, you know what I'm saying? You could see where it leads to. As things move forward, you over here just trying to just stay behind whoever's in last. Like, that don't make no sense. No. And it doesn't need to be that way. So it's like, I also want to put more positive stuff in there, you know? I think it made us super, super strong. Super strong. But I'm over this persevering, like, survival mode nonsense. I need to be living regularly, having friends, being able to study this, being able to go do that. Not constantly trying to feel like not constantly feeling like I'm filling a damn void. No. So, my nose is going wild. Yeah, the food is just too good. I'm probably smacking everything. I don't care. This food is too good. I think, like, something I've had to learn is to stop being afraid to hurt people's feelings. Sometimes I'll be people pleasing too much. But it's just, I think it's subconsciously trying to just avoid unnecessary ass conflict because most motherfuckers don't know what they're talking about. And if you point that out, they go into this long, dumbass thing that doesn't make sense. And you say something simple to prove it wrong, and then it's just you pull it into bullshit. And I'm like, no, that to me that's stressful. I don't want to deal with that. No. Family would be like, oh, you only call when you need something. Yeah, because I'm spending all of my time trying to keep my life together. What the fuck? I don't have time to be sitting here talking with you. Oh, the weather's nice today. I don't have time for that shit, bro. The fuck? No, I don't have no time for that. You're a distraction. It probably wouldn't be like that, at least not to that degree, if I had the shit I needed. That was where I need to be. But that's just me. That's me. That's how I feel about it. Because I'm not sitting here feeling like I'm filling voids. I'm actually living. And don't even get me started on trying to listen to what your soul wants or needs. That's just a whole nother thing. Whole nother thing. That's like the quote unquote spiritual side of it. And your soul will be like, don't even think about getting a job. Don't even think about it. And there's times I had to try and just push through and just, all right, I gotta do something. And as I did those things, it just was like, I felt all that I was trying to put together was just falling apart. And that what I was doing was not replacing that with something the same or better. It just was pointless. That was like the funny part, like quote unquote spirituality. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm gonna do something. I'm going to do something. All right. Peace.